Good morning and welcome to Trading with Larry. It's Larry Benedict, joined by Eric Shamilov. I hope all had a nice weekend, back at it Monday morning, and so much to talk about. I'm feeling a little warm and fuzzy because when I get that crazy like I did last week, um, about or passionate or whatever you want to call it about a certain trade, it usually takes a week or two, not a day. So it came and they destroyed the meme. The memers were literally massacred. But you know what? You know what's crazy? They probably didn't even sell yet. They're down 35 clean, and they probably didn't sell because in Bitcoin, they're down over 45 clean and they haven't sold. So um, here we sit. I was up last night doing a little trading at 3 in the morning, and silver traded 71. Okay. Literally, when I got up later, after I went back to sleep, it was trading at 84. That's like an 18% move. That's like a 3-year average S&P move in 2 hours overnight. This is a casino royale. This is not silver. We discussed it last week. You can name it dog shit. You can name it whatever you'd like. It is not a real thing. The actual silver market is fully supplied and actually oversupplied. And what was interesting on Friday, the silver ETF that traded 400 plus million shares again, which is, for like 200 times its average volume. I was not allowed to short it. It was unshortable. Okay. So if someone needs it so bad, why are they not letting me short it to them? No shorting. I didn't check this morning. It probably is the same scenario, but check this morning. But what do you make of this? I mean, what do you make of Bitcoin last night trading below 75,000? Okay. The high was 130. That's almost a clean 50%. Okay. This is, from the high, a clean 30 plus percent when we made the low this morning, maybe closer to 40%. Okay. And, gold, not as bad, but kind of the same thing. So here we sit, another destruction in memes. They didn't even get it going for more than a month. And it's the GameStop thing. How much more can they take? What is going on here? And, everybody, even this morning, there's been defense of gold. Gold is up on the year, dude, for the fifth or fourth straight year. They're defending gold. They're like out there, with price targets at 8,000, 9,000. We're at 4,000 for God's sakes. I don't understand what possibly could make this thing double. And the wild card, I know I'm talking a lot and I'll throw it to you in a second, but the wild card, okay, and I was really a little bit, I'm uppity this morning, so just bear with me. Um, the thing that got me this morning on my way to work, okay, and it really pissed me off, okay, is Jerome Powell. We're on this podcast. We're, frickin' frack. I'm not the smartest guy in the room, okay, but I'm smart enough to know that something should be done to stop what is going on. The assault of the internet to try to pump up silver, TikTok videos, Instagram videos, chat rooms, etc., taking advantage and turning something that's been a hunk of junk for 50 years into like the most precious metal that cures cancer. Okay. So Jerome Powell is sitting in his high throne doing nothing. The one reason why this basically is being looked at a little differently is Warsh works for Duquesne, okay, which is Stanley Druckenmiller, who worked for Soros. So he's got a trading background. They're never putting up with this stuff. Never. They are never. If they see stuff like this, they're going to act. Okay. And I'm not saying, anything happened here, but I think, my friends are saying, oh, he's really hawkish, he wants to shrink the balance sheet and lower rates. And you know what? I don't believe he's even going to do that. But
Yeah,
that's
I don't know why everybody's jumping on this hawkish bandwagon with Warsh,
well, he's 100% more vigilant than what we have, dude. What we have is a sleeping pigeon. Okay, the guy is he's sleeping in Central Park. This guy, honestly, and I wasn't even mad, like or disappointed in him. I'm so disappointed in his performance over this period of time because I was like, you know what? Trump was beating on him for lowering rates. That's not what gets me. What gets me is how out of tune he is with the meme revolution or the maniacs that are, going in and out of things and what we call blowing them up and then destroying themselves and other people, and that the government is just standing by and they're okay. They're okay if silver went to 400, 500, a million. It's crazy. Warsh is never putting up with that. Never. They're not. And I'm surprised Besant being in the CDs in, who is also another trader that traded for Soros, um, is the same way. So I don't know. I mean, you're a mini memer, so what do you think?
but well, there's a lot to unpack with what you said. Where do we start? I guess let me ask you a question. Do you think the announcement from Trump that Warsh is going to be the guy triggered all of this because that kind of coincided with the
I
highs,
mean,
the
I think it was weird. You know how you always said you had like these crazy thoughts about all these markets or whatever. Like I didn't have crazy thoughts, but I had a feeling on Friday expiration that something I didn't think that, but something big was going to happen. And the amount of money made and lost on Friday was epic. And the premiums and what was going on was epic. And if you see what's going on, these people that are buying all these zero DTEs and these options don't even know the pricing. They don't know anything. They're just buying. They don't care. It's like you when you have the love affair with the long. It's like buy.
yeah,
I'm so happy I bought. Let's go.
yeah,
So
just
it's
like me. Yeah,
it's like a weird thing. I don't get that. You love that, but
love
I'm just trying to understand. You do. You like to buy. It's okay. I like to sell. You've been doing better than me. But when we get moves like that, that changes the complexion. But don't you think that to trade, listen, I'm in the newsletter business, okay? I'm giving information, education, and trade ideas to the public, right? And the funniest thing about it is, Eric, I'm mostly an option guy. I grew up trading options. I've traded options for over 40 years. I have a very good knowledge of how they're priced, understanding when things are out of whack and all of this stuff. And you would think that that would sell amazing in in a business where we're trying to help people, where we could define the risk, we could create structures that are, you know guaranteed to do certain things. Okay, if you buy a call spread for $1 and it's five, you can only lose $1 and make four. That's a pretty good scenario, a lot better than owning silver ETF on Friday, correct? But it's funny, in the business you always have to like explain options and it's not scary and this and that, but it's so far from scary. The options are trading more volume than the stock exponentially. So somebody's loving these things, somebody's trading them, somebody is mispricing them. And I don't know why anyone would be scared. It's the opposite. I'm more scared of the stock. You can't, if you're a buyer of options, you can't lose 30, you can lose percentage wise, but you can't lose what you could lose in the equity. You're buying options. We usually buy them for $2 or $3. We know what we can lose. It's pretty defined risk. But like, I mean, options on the strip are trading 10 million contracts. I mean, it's unbelievable. So I that's the one thing I don't understand. And nobody is afraid of anything. Would you not agree with that? That no one's not afraid of anything?
I don't know if they're not afraid of anything, but I sent you a chart over the weekend from Jim Bianco, who's great. He gives great information on Twitter, and he calculated the average price of all these Bitcoin ETFs and MSTR. He kind of averaged the price of all of these things, which accounts for about 10% of the entire Bitcoin float. And that they're underwater on that trade. The price is below the average buy. I think it's even more exacerbated in
Wait,
silver.
average buy, time out. Average buy all time, not average buy recently. Average. So
All time.
MSTR guy, that knucklehead who's hodling and modeling and going to destroy everyone like he did in 1999. No one remembers that he was an internet cowboy in 1999, 2000 and blew up. Okay. He is now net down money. Okay. On every purchase that he has. That's pretty unimpressive, right? And we really,
No, he's. I think he's slightly up
he
on.
may be not at eight and not at 75. You'll have it out this morning. He'll have it out because he
Yeah,
posted
maybe
it.
not. But the point is that
The point is, it's disgusting. That's the point. That it's literally disgusting that these guys were clowning up at 120,000 and 125,000 and buying more than they ever bought. Okay, and guess what? Unless he has some type of redemptions or whatever's going to happen, or the price goes $10,000 lower and he's forced to sell. You know how many coins he's going to sell? Absolutely zero. So this is where we're at. This is the environment we're at. It's very, very scary. The stock market hasn't had any correction. I feel like we do the same trade every single day. We opened down last night again at 3 in the morning, or it was actually a little before 3 in the morning. The spoos were down 100. And then they come back and they're down like 20, 30, 40. It's an odd lot. They had them on the ropes, they had them scared. And then they're back and it's back to the same thing. So here we sit, a lot going on. The dollar had a reverse of the move. Maybe a little of that was the announcement. I mean, to be honest with you, it's like, and I've never, ever in the last, I don't know, how long has he been chairman? Like 7 years, whatever it's been, 6 years. I have never beaten on this guy. I've never said a negative word really until today. And I'm literally disgusted with this guy.
but
He
what is
is.
the is that under the Fed's jurisdiction to regulate the futures market? Isn't that the CFTC?
What is regulating the futures market? They can regulate. They could tell the SEC. They could talk to the SEC, dude. The problem is not the CFTC or the commodity. The commodity is not moving this thing. Okay, don't kid yourself. Your little commodity market is not doing jack. Okay, when you're trading more notional in one silver ETF, one than the whole S&P 500 in a day, that's where your problem sits, not in the silver futures. I'll bet you the volume acceleration hasn't even, well, it probably is more because these ETFs use it to hedge. Okay. They need to buy, the underlying. But, that, I'm not yelling at him for that. I'm upset with him for a number of different things. Okay. The dollar. Okay. The dollar. I don't know who's creating dollar policy. I guess the government branch, but I mean the Fed can intervene in the dollar if they wanted to. I'm not saying they should. I'm just saying the central banks, okay, or the Federal Reserves or the BOJ, like you're afraid of the BOJ every day coming in. The BOJ is the same branch as the Federal Reserve. So my thought is, dollar is crap, okay? Even though people don't think it's a big move, dollar move last year was a disaster. It was one of the worst years in history for the dollar. on a year-over-year basis, moving over 10%. I mean, that's pretty massive. So I'm upset with Powell because he's not doing anything. He just, what does he do? Tell me what that guy does. I mean, his speeches are mumbo jumbo. They don't even address, for them not to say one word about silver and gold. Okay, which gold is a, when you ask anybody, gold is a gauge of inflation. Okay, now it's a meme, so it has nothing to do with inflation. But gold was always used as a measuring stick for inflation. Even when I'm driving in this morning and I'm listening to Bloomberg radio and they go, "Oh yeah, gold, the gauge of inflation," blah 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 blah. So I'm not understanding how they're okay with a 300% move in a commodity. That's manipulated. They, hold on a second. Do you think it's manipulated? Do you think the move up was manipulated?
Yes.
Okay.
Towards the end. Towards the end, yes.
Okay. Towards the end. Okay. I'd say the whole move, not the whole move, but the whole move and from 60 to 120. But listen, me and you are sitting in our freezing perches where we are. Um, and we're looking at it. He has access to so much more information, so much more data, and he's ridiculous. You don't think he's ridiculous that he's doing nothing?
Well, he was asked about gold at the press conference, and his response was, "I don't even want to handle this question. There's nothing to talk about." He didn't
Well,
want to
that's
really.
even worse. That's even worse. Why not? He's got too much on his plate. He can't manage it. Come
No, I
on,
think
dude.
he tried to convey the sense that these moves in gold and silver are nothing but noise, and kind
Well,
of.
how could it be noise? Like, I don't understand. It's not noise. And I'm not even that concerned with the pure move. I'm concerned, okay, with the unprofessional nature of how this is happening and what is going on. And listen, silver moved today more than the price of silver itself for the last 40 years. It moved this morning. Okay, I mean, listen, it makes for great trading. There's going to be great trading in there today, and I'm not focusing on equities in any way. I'm in metals fully. Okay, for now, just you know, looking at options, putting on positions because they're mispricing options, etc. I'm looking at that. Equities are meaningless. I mean, what are they going to do? Do what they always do, So there's not a lot there. You know, the dollar trade is interesting to me as well.
I think there's a lot going on in equities. I think kind of they're at a point where volatility's ticking up. We're now in February. This is the time of month that you should be looking for volatility. I'm looking for volatility. I was looking for volatility end of
Eric,
January,
I'm
February.
not disagreeing with you, but the S&P future is 50, 60 off the low. Okay. So to get there, dude, no one's even focused on it. No one is focused. I'm telling you, when we go ding, ding, ding at 9:30, that silver ETF is going to go ballistic. Okay. And the gold ETF, they're going to go ballistic. Okay. People have seen what they can make or lose in a day. Think about it. The silver, I looked when we were on the low in silver. And by the way, last night when everyone was sleeping, we took that low out. Okay. We took that low out. It was down 35% on the day. I probably gave you the information already, but what do you think we were down on the crash of 1987?
Those
Which
20,
people talk about like it's the craziest thing of all time. Okay, a crazy day, right?
27%.
21.7 or 22 at the most. Okay. Now, granted, more
I wish
people are
I saw you
involved.
on that day. That would have been. I would pay to see you on the floor that day.
Ah, dude, that was a lot of fun. Crazy, crazy stuff. It was wild. You know what? The floor shut down. So the floor stopped trading at like 1 o'clock that day. We were like wandering the streets of lower Manhattan, not knowing whether, we had jobs or the market was going to be open. It was crazy. And I remember a friend of mine, he was up on a trading desk and he had to buy a bunch of options, and he was like, he bought them, and like he took his coat and he left. He's like, either I'm going to make a lot of money or I'm going to lose my job. That's how crazy it was. But the point being, yes, it's a commodity and they move more, but 35% is a, and that was the biggest down move since 1980. 1980. That's freaking unbelievable for a sleepy thing. Listen, just admit to me, okay? Admit to me that 5 months ago, 4 months ago, or even 3 months ago, I'm going to go with 3 months ago, no one gave two shits about silver. Okay. Nobody had it in their portfolio. No one knew what it was. No one
No.
even knew the price. No one even talked about it. And now we're at the point where people are buying like silver coins at dinner, buying all kinds of stuff, buying everything. They can never go down, and they got torched. And if it takes listen, it really should go below 60. I'm not saying it will on this particular move, but it should. And what if it goes back to where it should be, $30, 30, $40, and sits there again for 25 years? That's a wasted, it's not going to happen like that, because there's too much interest in this now. But I think this was all created by the internet. I really do. I think it's created by chat rooms, the internet. I'm talking about silver here. I'm getting hit with Facebook ads to buy silver. I mean, it's crazy. You're watching TikTok dances with silver. My kids made a meme of me in silver. I sent it to you with a silver hat inside a silver vault. Okay, I mean, it's crazy what's going on. And my kids every day, I don't even bring it up. They're asking about it. What's up with silver? Why is it going up? I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea. So it's, what do you call it? It's pervaded society, like silver. And the funny thing is, you don't need silver and I know it's in data centers all over the world. They're in data centers, massive
Here's the
silver.
fact. I know you don't think there's a shortage and all that, but here's a stat, right? 2024 mine production was 820 million ounces. 2024 total demand was 1.16 billion ounces. So that's a structural supply issue. So
Okay,
you
well
can't.
then let me ask you this. I get that, and that's part of your memeing story. Okay, but that's your meme story, dude. You got four
Yeah,
more also.
yeah.
Silver's in
Listen,
silver's in
you-
satellites. Wait. It's in flying cars. It's in satellites. All things that never had silver in it before. All this stuff had silver in it before. But here is the true fact.
yeah.
And this is what gave us a little bit of the edge that we needed. And we had to trade on short silver for our subscribers that are watching today. We probably could have done better, but we made 40% on an option, maybe a little more in one day or 2 days, whatever it was. We were down a little, came back. But the point is, okay, we kind of knew. I had friends calling me, telling me that they could not sell silver at any price. Okay. And that the refiners are shut down because they have so much silver, they can't even melt it fast enough. And it was funny because silver was trading
That
120,
by the way was a very good data point.
but it's still there. It's still there in size, dude. My friend owns the biggest not pawn shop, okay?
Well, company
pawn,
or
pawn
chipper
shop
up.
in South Florida, timeout in South Florida. He's sitting on a ton of silver and gold. Bidless silver, bidless. He wants to sell it all, bidless. He can't get a bid. They're saying they can't lock for 5 days. There's nobody taking it in. Okay. So what does that tell you? I mean, how is that bullish? Like to me, I'm a trader, a speculator. Okay. My friend has pounds of gold, okay, that he's trying to unload. He can't get a bid. He got a bid at $50. Okay. But that was before we dumped down to where we are now. So maybe that bid's 40. My question, like for me and you, is hey, we should maybe, if silver's 80, I wouldn't mind paying 50 or 40. I mean, that to me is like such a discounted trade. They used to pay for silver, believe it or not, they used to pay over price, over the price. So if silver was 28.50, they would pay you 30 or 29.50 because they knew when they had a buyer the premium was 7%. So they knew that they were getting out. It's now the opposite. There's nowhere to go with this stuff. So
Well,
but you're
although it's a
talking of timeout, but you're talking about there's a supply shortage. How could there be a supply shortage if everyone is trying to unload it and there is no bid? That means there's a massive oversupply. People have been sitting on this stuff for 30 years in a vault, and someone just woke them up and said, hey, Joey, your $12 silver is now 120. You 10x your money. What do you mean? These are not sophisticated investors. These are buying silver and gold for the end of the world. The world, they want to have gold bars. Like I have a friend that bought a place in Canada and he freaking under his house in Canada, he buried gold bars. Okay. I mean, he's not operating sanely, but he's end of the world. Now, what do you think he is? He's a seller. Massive. Because these things, especially silver's gone up 400%, 300 to 400%. So, I mean, you're saying there's a supply problem, but I just don't see it. I see so much. If there was a supply problem, wouldn't every dealer be taking this in at parity? If there's a
so you could
supply
have you could
problem,
have yeah, you could have a supply problem, but there's a price level. So they always say in commodities, the
well, that's not true, Eric.
your
Not true. If there's a supply problem, that's set by the price. Okay, so the supply problem will set the price. So right now,
right
if no one can get silver, it's going to be
before you
trading at
before
150.
you before you interrupted me, I was going to say that the cure for high commodity prices is high commodity prices. So you could
But how do
have
you get the supply? I don't understand. You're saying there's no supply, and now you're saying the price went high, and there's all of a sudden supply.
they're not
So
willing to pay. Well, you saw that in the
it's a
physical market.
hidden supply.
They weren't willing to buy any more silver at that price, and but you didn't even need that data point from your jewelry friends. You could have just seen the forward curve last Monday and Tuesday already getting much less backwardated, which we talked about, and that was above 110 an ounce. Already, you saw that shift in the curve, which means hey, this price is not a good price here.
But why? But let me ask you this: why is silver so fancy? Like, why? Other than the fact that they've memed it and taken it over and made it a crazy commodity, what's so fancy about silver? Really? I mean, come on. There's so much supply. There's so much supply. They could tell me anything. This has been sitting for 50 years. Okay, they did not take all the supply out of the market. Okay, people are sitting with massive amounts of silver. Listen, it was the easiest thing to buy. Gold was trading at $3,000 an ounce. How much gold can you buy? Silver's $20. You could buy, 50, 100x silver, right? But silver never moved for all of these years. Okay. And then they memed it up. And listen, we can sit and talk about whether there's supply, whether there's not supply, whether it's used in, I'm hearing, oh, it's used in drones. I don't know. I don't see drones flying over my office, like zillions of them. I don't know how many drones are up in the sky. It's a little freaking crazy. Okay. So I don't think the drone is made of silver. There may be a component in there that's using a little bit of silver. And then listen, think about this. Okay. Price goes up by 10x. you got to use something else in your components than silver, because silver is now too expensive and not worth using. So you got to
Yeah,
come up with something
110,
else.
110, it starts crimping into
Oh,
margins.
come on. You're making, dude, listen to me. I love you. You're making up
Let's
110.
look. All right, look,
The commodity wasn't above 60 till
30
2
minutes
weeks ago.
talking
Hold on.
about
When did the commodity cross
no
60?
trades. 30 minutes, dude. What is the trade? You just got out of SLV puts for your clients. What are you doing next?
I have no idea. I got to wait to see pricing on the opening, and we'll see. I think they want to buy it. They'll probably try to buy it this morning. But when you say 110 is the price, Eric, it actually it kind of upsets me,
Yeah.
because silver never traded above $60 until 3 weeks ago, and you're pinpointing 110 as a price of elasticity.
I'm not
That's where
something. It's usually a range.
what?
It's a range above
Okay,
100,
so let's go.
125.
Let time out. A month ago, silver was 60, basically mid-December. So a month and a week, let's say. You're using double the price of where silver is a level to where they wanted to short it. I mean, come on, dude. This thing could have gone to 170. It could have gone to 200. Could have gone anywhere. They busted these guys. They
Yeah.
were memeing up this crap every single day for 5 weeks. Okay. But 110 is not a level, not a level. And I would say everybody, like all of these pieces I'm reading, I think it was Morgan Stanley or UBS this morning said gold 7,000. On Friday, someone said gold 8,500, silver, 200, 300. Dude, what is going on? Where were these guys? Now they're all bulled up. They're doubling down on the worst. Wait, in the worst day in 50 plus years, they're doubling down and telling you price targets that are triple or double where we are now. That's okay. That's what you want to see in this market of froth. And let's get to a better market. Let's get to, because you're my Bitcoin guy. Let's get to Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Honestly, let's just get to it. How much actual pain can an investor take? How much? How much pain can they take? How much time can it last? And how could these guys, okay, a whole internet posse, tell you, hold on, don't look at it, don't worry, you're going to be okay, this, that, and they don't even realize, because of ETFs and other things out there, there is forced selling. Like today, Bitcoin somehow stabilized, but if Bitcoin got down to 70, 72, there's massive selling off ETFs. You saw it in silver and gold on Friday at 1 o'clock. These guys have to rebalance. So, like, I have an ETF, okay, at 2 o'clock. If we have create and redeems, we have to recreate our positions, which means we have to be a buyer or a seller. Wait till today. you know, they're going to have to recreate the position. So, yeah, your guys are hodling, all your guys, all these memers, but they don't realize that there is actual selling on the down and buying on the up that takes place, that artificially moves the market. I mean, if you pull up a chart at 1 o'clock, like maybe, you know, a 15-minute or whatever, you could see it. I mean, massive volume extension, so it's out of the hands of the people that are manipulating, but I mean, listen, this is a complete manipulation. We're going to swing out of here and try to talk about some other stuff. I mean, this is the most
Well, I want
exciting.
to I want to ask if you have any positions that you want to share with us in silver or gold here. Like, what's your play?
My play is to look for zero DTE options today. um, See what the premiums look like, and up or down 5% from here. I don't think we're going to move. And if there's premium in that, sell a strangle, always cover it with wings. And but we have to see. I have to see. How it opens. I know the low. Listen, the low last night in silver was 71. You know what the high was?
Last night,
80, 88. A $17 move. Okay, that's more than 20% from top to bottom overnight tonight. Overnight. So that, I mean, I don't know how that doesn't freak you out. That this is just insanity. 20%. That's like the move in the S&P over the last 2 years. That's why, when you say, equities, and we can talk about equities after this. I got no problem, but equities are not a focus at all. At all. At all. I mean, to me, equities look like they should go lower, but they never do. So, what do you do? You got to sit there and muddle through it. And we have to see, we have to see how it all plays out, you know.
I put on a interesting call butterfly on GLD at around the 4,800 level on Friday.
Yeah, I don't like it. We talked about it. Like butter.
I'm not
So the
surprised.
thing is, for people out there that
Right.
trade our stuff, a butterfly is exactly what it says. So the wings of the butterfly open up. Okay. The problem when you go out months or even a month is that butterfly will never widen. You can buy these butterflies for really cheap. You can buy them for 20 cents, 50 cents, whatever, but they don't expand until very, very late. So like what do you think? Okay. What butterfly is it?
Yeah, so I put on the 500, 540, short two of the 540, long one of the 500, and then I went long one, uh, 600. So it's a little bit of a broken butterfly.
Well, it's pretty much in line, but let's say tomorrow we went to 540, this butterfly wouldn't be more than $1. Wouldn't even be. Too fast of a move. You're right in the range. All options move
Yeah,
about the same amount.
I think the volatility calms down where I get paid on the short side,
Not in
and
a month.
I
Not
think
in a
gold
month
is going
or
to.
two. You have two. Eric, I've traded tens, probably hundreds of thousands of butterflies. I kind of know how they work. Too much time. Too much time. Okay. Like it's funny. I like to do butterflies the day of, 2 days. Like you buy. Let me ask you this. Let's say in gold's at 4,800. Let's say. Okay. Today I buy the 4,800, 4850, 4920. Okay, and I pay $1.50. Okay.
You're talking about futures or GLD?
I'm talking about GLD. So I'm talking about GLD or futures, whatever, futures, 4,800. That thing will open up once we go above 4,800. Okay. And that thing will be pure delta. You have no delta on that. Your delta is zero, literally, on that trade. You have no
That's what I
delta.
want for now. For now, that's exactly what
I
I want.
understand, but you're trying to pin it for 2 months. Like there's gonna be 80 trades to be done before that. That's all I'm
Exactly.
saying.
Exactly. That's my whole point. That's my whole plan is to then structure those trades around that.
I understand. So you're gonna sit in that trade, tie up capital for
I'm
months.
not tying up anything. I paid 15 cents for that debit.
I
15 cents.
understand, but I don't know. Listen, here's what I say. Like when I was trading and I had a hedge fund, I wouldn't put that position on only because it's aggravating and I have to look at it every day and it's distracting and it will not make money for you. It will not make money for you. It just will not make money for you for a month. Well, you know what? Let's do this. Look, it's the 500, 540. I'm going to write it down and keep it on my computer. 10?
600.
600. Okay. We'll look at it every single day. We'll just check it. And I'll bet you don't make any money. You'll make under $1 no matter where this thing goes for the
All
next
right.
month. I'm
Well,
just
look, I'm
saying.
going to trade around it, but you sure you want to do another bet? I mean, you're.
Yeah. No, it's not a bet. I said we're
Well,
going
we
to
can
look at it. I'm not
consolidate.
betting you.
I was
I'm not
thinking of
betting you. What are you looking to make? Time out. What are you looking to make? $1? I mean,
no,
you can make $1 in 2 seconds there.
no,
Like, all I'm saying,
actually,
listen, for people out
I'm
there,
actually hold up a second. Jesus. I'm looking for gold actually to go back up to around 500 on GLD. And
okay,
then
so what? What
I'm
does that
looking
mean?
to
So it goes to 500. Time out. It
and
goes to 500 tomorrow. Where do you think the butterfly is? It does
not
not
going to be a lot.
expand.
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to happen tomorrow.
It doesn't matter. If it happens in 2 weeks, it doesn't matter. I'm just telling you, it will. Listen, I do this for a living. Okay. I don't know how many you've done,
Right.
but this will not expand. And I will show you that on a daily. It's just whatever. You can't
Okay.
make more than $1 on that in the next month. It's a butterfly. Okay. You have three options. Okay. The bottom line is you're looking for your front end option to go in the money. You're looking for the middle option to decay. That decay will not take place in the first 2 months or even the last month. If there's a month to go, there's no decay. You're looking, like you just said, you're looking for it to go to 500. There's so many better strategies I would say than that. I'm not saying, listen, that's fine, but you could do, dude, you could do the 520, 560, 620. You could do any of these flies. They're all a dime. They're all 20 cents. I'm just letting you know. So it's good, but I always felt when I was trading, it was a full distraction for me to have a position on like that I had to look at every single day for a month and a half or a month. Like what I'm saying is, what are you looking to get out for?
Actually, it's the opposite. I don't have to look at it at all because I paid almost nothing
You're
for it.
never gonna look at it. You're just, dude. There you go. Beautiful, dude. Put it on like Bitcoin. You're
No, no,
never looking at the
nothing to
position.
look at. There's
You're
for now.
looking at that position all day, every day. And if you're not looking at it all day, every day, you're looking at it a lot. It's in your position. It's showing in your P&L. It's part of trading. It's in
All
your
right.
position. You
Okay.
cannot not look at it unless you side it, which is whatever, okay, and put it in another sub account. It's in your position. You're going to see it every day, every day. Trust me. I do this for a living for years. It's distracting. Butterfly, dude, you could put a butterfly in S&P today for a dime. I can give you 10 butterflies and they may hit and they may not. Okay. The bottom line is they're decent, but they don't expand with that much time in a volatility like this. That's all I'm saying. So for me, as a trader, I don't have a problem with it. I think you may do okay. You're not going to make money on it. We'll look at it tomorrow. We can look at it Friday. It's not going to move really. But that being said, where is it now?
I don't know. The market didn't open yet.
What?
Market's not open yet, but we have an SPX straddle at 40. What do you think about that at 9:13 a.m.?
Too low. Too low. Too low. We finished last month for our LSP spread trading product, which is my best product. I think it's been tried and true over the last 7 or 8 years with no losing years, although last year was our most choppy. We only gave a trade a week, maybe a little more. I think we did 6 trades for the month, 6 winners, no losers. We were very methodical, but it's been very difficult to find trades that I'm feeling ultra comfortable about. How can you feel good about a $40 straddle? I mean, I'm just asking you. It's just, it may hit up, but you're gonna lose. You're gonna have 2 heart attacks during the trading day. It may come in,
Yeah,
but
so here's one thing I was thinking about. Like, do you think the this episode in gold and silver has caused some sort of blow up somewhere that we don't know about?
no. I actually think professionals made a lot of money. Maybe some market makers like Citadel or whatever took little hits or some hit, but I don't think a lot. I think this is all meme retail, and the meme retail blows itself. It's very interesting. So, like the meme retail blows itself up. It's almost like an internal implosion. It's like Johnny loses 2 grand, Stevie loses 8 grand, some other guy lost 50 grand. None of these guys are big, dude. That's why they need huge moves. That's why, like you even said it, like it sticks in my head when you said to me, gold had a 300-point move in a day. And if you were totally right, got the bottom and the top, you made $11,000. Okay. So that's what these people are trading with, one micro mini, and they're hoping to make 4 grand. So when you say, is there a big blow up? I don't see it. I don't see it. I mean, listen, there's no professional traders that were long this thing massive size. I mean, who would be long this thing at that price? There's no one. So I think this was the meme revolution. It's a different kind of blow up. It's the listen, wouldn't you think Bitcoin at 75,000 you would see panic, movement. I mean, Bitcoin was the most stable thing I think I've ever seen in my life last night. Didn't even move, right? The whole range was like 74 or whatever the low was up to, 78 or 79, that you don't think that there is no movement like there when you say like when we traditionally see a blow up in equities or whatever or bonds, you see big movement, volume acceleration. On Friday, you saw volume acceleration on silver and gold only because ETFs had to change their positions. So, you got to wait to see. But maybe I'm wrong on this, but you don't think that this is just a meme trade with a bunch of, a million, 2 million? Listen, I know single handedly 30 people that never traded silver before that bought silver. 30 people. People coming out of the woodworks asking me, what do you think about silver? I'm buying silver. This thing's good. It's going to 200. Da, 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 da. I mean, that's what you got. Those guys are never selling, never. They paid 115, 110, 100, 95. When are they're never going to sell. When they're going to sell? When they make money somewhere else and they're tired of having it on their sheet. But listen, equities, I'm going to say this and we're getting close to wrapping. Equities are not the place to be right now. The place to be is in silver and gold for trading. Okay. You can make or lose 5% in a day. Okay. Easily in an hour. Okay. And, they're going to try to buy it today. If it doesn't hold, it could get interesting. Crazy movement. 5% in there is like bid and offer. And I wouldn't, I would wait for silver to come up a little bit more, maybe $85 in silver and 40 48.50 gold, 4900 gold, maybe for a trade. Dollar, I still like the dollar. We had a good euro trade. We actually sold the euro about 120, covered in the low 118s.
That was a good trade.
That was
that,
an
was,
that
that was a good trade. That was
Yeah, that
very.
was a nice one, pretty quick for us. So things are clicking, for the opportunistic trader right now. So
It was really counter trend. Like the narrative out there was really bearish
well,
on the
that's
dollar.
what I listen. That's what I want to do. I mean, when everybody's going one way, I want to go the other way. The only problem is you incorporate memes. I don't think there are memers in currencies yet. Maybe they'll get there. I don't think they can because it's really controlled by central banks.
And
But
so, just like that dollar trade, just like that euro trade worked for you, do you think TLT is a counter trend trade in the same vein, where
I
you may?
don't see a big move in TLT at all. I actually see two cross currents. I see the administration wanting lower rates, and I see basically the market saying that we're here today, and that's pretty much it. You know, nobody's buying our debt. China's not buying our debt. Europe isn't buying our debt. So when we're issuing debt, we're kind of issuing it to ourselves. So I find that to be a little bit of a problem. But, today, my focus is not getting involved in a $40 straddle. We may sell one side of this later, depending on what we see as the move. But I do think that silver and gold, watch that on the opening, watch for volume coming in. Um, there's work to be done in there. We'll keep an eye on it. I don't know if there's anything else you want to touch before we get everybody ready for the opening. We're about 10 minutes out. But I think no touch on the straddle. Dollar, want to be long the dollar against currencies, want to wait for better levels in the euro back in the 119 handle. You know, yen, sitting where it is. It's been there. There's really hasn't been intervention. We sort of touched a lot on silver and gold. Equities, I don't think anything big. I don't know if there's anything else you want to look at before we go here.
Um, yeah, the market see there's a lot of technical levels below and above where the market's trading right now. I just feel like SPX is going to open up at 69.20 and 70 points down. You have a lot of premium, like the 68.50 strike. You have premium. There's the puts are bid up. There's premium out there. I think there's a lot to do in SPX today.
Well,
Could be a kind of a contained day vol kind of
we're never
vol
contained. We're never contained.
40
Okay.
point straddle today. I don't know. Maybe that
Well,
kind of
why? Let me ask you this. Okay, why are you feeling so comfortable about that?
about the straddle at 40.
Well, I'm
Well,
just
because
saying the S&P when I woke up at 3 in the morning was down a hundred, and somehow they brought it back, and we're just chilling. Dude, we're chilling. Everything's fine. I mean,
yeah, I'm looking at Micron, and Micron was down like $30 last night overnight, and now it's up on the day.
dude,
So
what do you mean?
I guess
Nvidia
there's
was
a lot of
Nvidia
premium.
was crashing. Nvidia was crashing, and then they bring it back.
Yeah,
But
and
what?
all the
But
stocks
what
are
did
back. So
Eric?
isn't that
How many? Listen, how we're now into a new month. Okay, give me the net change on the S&P for the first month. It was like 1%. Okay, the Dow was 2, and the Nasdaq was less. S&P was like 1.5. I mean, literally every day is an explosion or a crash, and legitimately we're in year 4 of this, and there hasn't been anything to the downside of scare. Like you just said, hey, 50 lower, these things have juice. That doesn't seem that far away to me. I mean, if we get
70 lower,
selling,
not 50, 70 lower, 70 lower.
70 lower, so
Yeah, I
that's
don't
not
know.
even dude,
Look, I'm
silver's moving 20% a day, and you're like comfortable selling S&P puts down less than 1% or
well.
a
I have calls.
percent.
I just think today's going to be kind of within that range. I'm seeing all these stocks come back overnight. Vol fell off. Now
Well,
Vol
what
is
if they hit them
elevated.
in the opening? Listen, I would watch gold and silver. That's the S&P. As soon as they take risk off and smash. Last night, silver was tanking, SPOOs were tanking. Silver was coming back, SPOOs. There's
It's actually
some link
funny that you're so
algorithm.
fixated on. It's actually funny you're so fixated on silver and gold. You never used to trade this in your career. You're
Why
an
do you
S
say I never traded it in my career? That's
because
actually totally false. Okay.
okay, all right.
Okay. That's totally false. Why do you say I never traded silver, but I definitely traded gold. Silver
Right.
never moved, but
It's
I
just
traded gold.
interesting to hear you not focusing, like you're completely not looking at SPX.
Why would I? You're telling me we're going to be in a 40 handle range. So why am I looking at it? I got a commodity moving 10% every minute. Why would I want to trade something that's going to be in a 40 handle range?
I hear you. I hear that. I hear
But
that.
I'm just saying what you just said is the opposite. You're like, why are you not focusing? I'm not focusing on it because no one is, and it came back. It looked like it was going to get trashed, okay, overnight, and it came back somehow. So I am not looking at it. I am looking to focus on something that's going to move more than the S&P will move on the year, maybe in a day. So that's where I want to be, and that's where I think everybody is. So anyway, we're close to the opening, um, and we'll go from there. Anything else that you want to discuss before we
I'm
go?
afraid, I'm afraid to mention anything. So
Well, mention anything. You're telling me to trade S&P, and then you're telling me it's not going to move.
I'm not
So
saying
let me
anything.
ask you a question. You're saying I'm not focused on S&P, which I'm not. Okay. I'm focused on things that are moving crazy with crazy volatility and crazy option pricing. But you're telling me that the straddle is a sale at $40.
Well, you're focused on it, but you're not giving us a trade, dude. Give us a
I
trade.
did give you a trade. I basically said I want to watch these options open. And then if anything up or down 5%, I think is a sale in silver from where we are now. I did tell you
Got
that.
it. Got it.
Okay.
Got
But
it.
I can't know that for sure because the pricing isn't out, you know. When the pricing is out, then I'll know. But that's what I'm focusing on. And the equity market is bizarre. It just goes up every single day for no reason. Let me ask you, why were we down 100 handles last night and now we're barely down? Like what changed
Couldn't
in
tell you.
4 hours, 3 hours?
Couldn't tell you.
Okay,
Couldn't-
so I would not want to trade that. I want to trade this. There's a lot of pain in gold and silver still. They think they're out of the woods, and I don't think so. And we're going to see how it trades today. So anyway, we're 3 minutes from the opening. We're way too late. We went almost an hour. I enjoyed it. Um, I'm not trading that $40 straddle. You think it's a sale, correct?
I think it'll be in that range, 40, 50 points. Yep.
Okay. All right. Good luck. Enjoy, everyone.